With a price tag of $159, this is the Plaud Note. I believe this is the first device that Plaud AI have released. This is, I think, going to be a really valuable tool for me. So in my use cases, I'm in a lot of business meetings. Sometimes they're on Zoom or Teams, right? Or sometimes they're in person, or they're just a traditional phone call. And you actually can't record phone calls on an iPhone, at least not that I've been able to figure out. So I want to be able to take those notes, capture those conversations, and then ask questions of the meeting notes so that I can pull data quickly. Like for example, if I'm talking to somebody for 45 minutes or an hour, which is pretty normal in a business setting, and they start giving me some metrics, they're giving me data like, we have this many employees, or this thing takes this many hours, or there are this many processes required to accomplish this one thing, and so forth and so on. Sometimes in the course of that meeting, I might get 8 to 20 data points. And I try to write them all down. I use Remarkable Paper Pro. This is like the best note-taking tool that I found for myself. I cannot go on a business trip without this thing. It's invaluable. And I would use it alongside Plaud. So what I do whenever, no one really says no. So let me backtrack a minute. I don't record any meetings unless the people in the meeting are aware of it and approve it. I don't think I've ever had anybody say no. I just can't, in over all the years that I've been recording things, because even before AI, you could still record Zoom meetings and stuff. I don't think I've ever had anybody say, no, don't record it, right? It's a business meeting. And I certainly don't record personal conversations because I try not to have any on the phone. But anyway, in addition to something like that Remarkable Paper Pro, I think it's helpful to have just like a global recording of your conversation so that you can record it, transcribe it, and summarize it. Because I'd like to be able to pull data points, like tell me all the data points that were shared in the course of this meeting. And I think that's how Plaud Note is going to help me. Okay, long introduction. In this video, we're going to unbox it, take a look at it, and then I will set it up and use it and give you my thoughts on having used it also in this video. But time will pass, just so you're aware, because I'm going to record this in different stages of my use with it. I really wanted to get the first unboxing recorded. This comes in a number of different colors. You have black, starlight, silver, and navy blue. This is the silver one from the box. It's what it looks like, unless they use the same box for all of them. I've removed the back stickers, but I have not unboxed it yet. So here we go. By the way, I noticed something. Magnetic case included. So you can use this with your iPhone. Just put it right on the back of your iPhone, like a MagSafe situation. Okay, welcome to Plaud. All of your books. This is a lot smaller than I expected. Ooh, it's very thin and very light. I dig that. And just slides right out. And here you have it, the Plaud Note. It's super small and super duper thin. So if you were to slap this onto the back of your phone, I don't think it would be a big problem or anything. This must be the, oh, that's cool, little leather case. Okay, so you have your cable right here. In order to charge the Plaud Note, you're going to need a special charging cord. And that's this guy here. Now you might see this as a disadvantage, but if the company were to make this thick enough for USB-C, it would be much thicker, probably twice as thick, if not a little bit more. So charge it this way, magnetically connects sort of like a Garmin watch or something would. It only goes one way, by the way. If you try to do this with the word Plaud upside down, you're gonna get some magnetic resistance. Okay, and then we have this leather case with an explanation of how it all works. So there's an adhesive here that probably goes onto your case. Yep, and then you have your magnet. Yeah, this way. So it's not a super strong magnet, but maybe once it's all connected, it will feel strong. And then you can slide it, that's a little thick, but you can slide it into this leather case. Let's see if there's a magnet here. Yeah, it's way stronger. Okay, so that's how it's going to connect. So very cool. All right, let me just get this set up and then we'll come back. But first, I've got to remove this. This is like driving me crazy how strong this is. Oh my gosh. Okay. We've got this. If you're gonna use it, you're gonna wanna slide it out like this. All right, that's the move. You put your thumb here, and then your finger, pop it out a little bit, We'll have to work that out. That's Plaud so far. Let's get it set up. All right, that did take about a minute. So here is the actual summary. This meeting provided a high-level overview of the business's performance over the last 12 months and a forward-looking revenue forecast. That's true. Gave me some of the data. No action items. Topic 1 was the revenue of the last 12 months and performance. Topic 2 was the future business outlook. Okay, so I'll tell it yes. Good job. Okay, give it a thumbs up. Oh, okay. Hang on, I don't want to do all that right now. Okay. Oh my goodness. What I'd really like to do is have a dialogue here. Oh, it mind maps it. That's cool. So it takes those data points and puts them into a mind map. Very helpful. Ask AI. So that requires an upgrade. So what I'll do, I'll sign up for the trial, and then we'll come back and take a look at some of the more complex recordings that I'll be recording over the next few days. So, okay, we'll be back. All right, so to test this out, I recorded a note, basically. So the idea was I'd record a short note, it's 43 seconds long, and then I would dialogue with this thing now that I've got the plan on trial. So a couple of things, the date is missing, which I think is interesting considering that it knew, like right here, it shows you the date, August 19th. But whatever, that's an easy fix. The note's up there, the date's up there too. It doesn't know my name, which makes perfect sense. I've never told it that information. I was the only speaker in attendance. So I created a summary just automatically. Like there was a button that says generate summary. I clicked it, and then this is what we have to see here. This format is a template. Now you can change the templates. You can choose from different templates. It'd be cool if you can make your own template too, but maybe that's a little too much for people. It gives you an executive summary and a detailed breakdown of things, including dimensions. Now this entire note, which if you wanted to, you can go back and you can just get the transcript right here, is about the note itself, the Plaud Note. Now it doesn't get the spelling correct, but it's transcribing my voice, which makes perfect sense that it wouldn't be, perfectly dead on. What I want to do, and by the way, if you wanted to, you can name your speakers here. I just noticed that. What I want to do is engage with the AI. Now this is developed on top of chat-gpt. Okay, I didn't expect that to happen. Sync. Okay. So it has to go into their cloud in order for you to interact with it via their AI. So let's see what that's all about. How can I help you today? Asked to do. Okay, this is what I want. Key metrics. That's funny because I was going to ask it for that question. Like I talked about earlier, metrics are incredibly important in sales. And as a sales professional, I want to know metrics. I want to validate metrics. I want to develop new metrics, if we're trying to improve those things. So this is great to see. And it pulls them out into a table. It knew size, weight. That's great. That's awesome. Okay, another metric is the 30 hours of continuous recording that Plaud Note supports on a full charge. It says 112 languages. I thought it was 111. Let's go back, take a look at that. We'll go to the transcript to validate. Nope, it is 112. I guess I'm not surprised that they nailed that one. Okay, back to the AI. Okay, now if I want to, I can share this, which is really cool. I can copy it, and there's some additional settings, like getting more detail, making it more concise, or inserting into a summary. So let's do insert summary. Inserted successfully. So if I go back to my summary, bang, there it is. There's that table that we generated. So let's do this. Let's keep playing around with this thing. Feedback sent. Okay, we're in summary now. There's the mind map. We don't need that. Ask AI, this is what I wanted. Okay. Now, the AI is only going to engage on what I said. So we have to keep it to that. Well, let's find out. Can you search online for additional information? Okay, unable to browse the internet to search for additional information online. Okay, it's based solely on the provided context by my training data up to date October 2023. One thing that I noticed is that when you're creating your summary, so let's go to a different one. Let's go to an earlier recording that I tested. Oh, I already created my summary. Let's see. Re-summarize? Okay, is this what I was looking for? Oh, look, you can create a custom template. That's sick. So somewhere before I had noticed, oh, look at this. Look at that. That is so cool. Okay, now in sales, one way that we qualify if a sales opportunity is real or not, or how real it is, I should say, is by using a framework. There are many different frameworks, but the most basic is called BANT. Does the customer have a budget? If so, what is it? How do they obtain it? Who has the authority to make the decision, influence the decision, or kill the decision? What is their need? Do they fully understand it? Have they defined it? Are there metrics behind it? Does everyone agree on the prioritization of those needs? And timeline. When do they need the problems solved? Is it based on a wave? Like, oh, let's do a phase 1, a phase 2. When do they want to make a decision? When do they want to have a business case? All those kind of things. And there's a framework right here that you can choose from, as a template rather you can choose from, which is really cool. There's a whole sales section here. Look at that, sales discovery call. This is awesome. I'm in education as well as a teacher, so it'd be cool to see some of these too. This is great. Okay, but that's not what I was looking for. Let's see, is there one where I haven't done the full deal yet? Okay, so watch this, all right? See if I can make this happen. I'm looking for the summarize button. Oh man, that's a bummer. Okay, well, maybe if we retranscribe, let's take the shortest one, retranscribe. This is what I was looking for. Okay, so earlier when I asked the AI if it could search the internet, it said it only has data up to 2023. So here there's this AI model. I had used the automatic model, but there are different models you can choose from, like Claude, GPT-4. Some of these are gonna be more up to date than others. I'm pretty sure Gemini 2.5 is currently up to date. So let's do this. This is gonna take a little bit of time, so bear with me. While that's happening, let's just take a moment. Look how small this is. Okay, thank goodness it's done. All right, so let's ask the AI. I want to ask the AI something that it should know if it's up to date, right? How does Plaud Note charge? Okay. All right, now the relevance of this is that this script is about Plaud Note, but I never said anything about how it charges. So let's see if it'll search the web to get us additional information. The audio context does not provide specific information. That's correct. However, based on typical features of similar devices like the Plaud Note, okay, well, that's true. It is a USB cable, but it's a very specific one, right? Because it's USB-C with this charger. All right. All right, come on. Oh my goodness. Can I enrich the notes here? So it's really strictly based. The AI engagement is strictly based on the context of your note. That's not a bad thing, all right? It's not a bad thing. It's just a limitation that currently exists. So if we go back to the note that we were looking at the very beginning, right? This one here, where we got the metrics, we pasted them back into the summary. What we could do is we could create another recording, possibly merge them together. Let's see, move to folder. We could put them in a folder. So let's do that. Plaud Note, create, move, okay. Let's move this to a folder, the same folder. Okay, so now that they share a folder, here's what I wonder. We got these two in a folder. What can we do with this? We can import audio, we can start a recording. Can we scan across both? Let's ask. I have a feeling when I ask it, it's not going to understand my question, because again, it's strictly based on the context of the recording. So let's find out. can I merge, can I search across 2 recordings in one folder? Yeah, okay, fair enough. It sticks directly to that. Okay, so I think the question is, can you merge recordings together and then engage the AI that way? Because that'd be really cool. Start audio trimming so you can remove some audio. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. By the way, another thing that I noticed, you can just hit play.
Okay, Plaud Note, let's get started.
All right, let's not listen to my voice anymore. So anyway, as you listen to me talk about this, yeah, so you can, by the way, you can re-listen to your recording if you wanted to, so you can hear the people speaking, which can be helpful if you're trying to remember a specific thing that somebody said and you're trying to map the voice to a specific person. Right here, you go to name speakers and off you go. Okay, cool. So Plaud Note. Well, I think this is great. I really like this. It's precisely what I was looking for to help supplement the way that I take notes. There's no hesitation in my voice. I'm just thinking as I'm saying this. I'm trying to find, what else would I like to see with this entire system? I think the pricing's a little high for the pro features, by the way. So, there's something that I think could probably be changed. But, overall though, I think this is precisely the kind of tool that I've been looking for. Now I can slide this into my, here's the thing, okay? The tool I've been using the most is Otter AI, and it's really cool. And it also has a fee, by the way, nothing's free. But with Otter, I have to remember to start the recording. I have to have a tablet, an iPad, a phone. I have to have something ready that I can hit record on and then start the meeting or my lecture or whatever it is. With this, once everybody's consent, I can just hold this button down right here and then slide it into my pocket or attach it to my phone using that magnet. And I think that's way more convenient and probably, well, I shouldn't say slide it into my pocket because I wonder how the microphones would work on this. That's something I'll need to test and get back to you guys about. But anyway, so far, really digging this thing. Cool, really cool device. We need more stuff like this. The Plaud folks, they do have a pin, something you put on your lapel, and it's the same idea. Maybe with that form factor being like round, cylindrical, that might be better. I'm not sure for convenience sake, but it's worth looking into that as well. And I'd like to take a look at that too. But for now, I think this is going to address my needs. So thanks to the Plaud folks for sending it over for review. Thanks for your time. We'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.